Agreed. Because I know one of the things that were pointed out, well, an outlet twisted it. You never came out your mouth to say that you were abused by your mom, but the narrative got kind of twisted and turned to that. So how do you think that rumor came about?
So, okay, so I know what you're talking about. So physically, I was abused by my mother. They're switching it and saying that I also said verbally and mental. Nickelodeon verbally and mentally abused me. And then I saw where somebody was saying under one of the outlets, they were just like, oh, her mother was beating her with the belt in front of the producers. That never happened. I don't even know where y'all got that from. I don't like. First of all, that starts touching into some other stuff, like other legal issues. That never happened. That wasn't that kind of story that was going on. Like I said, enough happened where we don't have to switch the narrative.
Okay, so let me bring it back to the abuse. So what was happening? Like, what was the extent of the abuse between you and your mom?
Well, the extent of the abuse, so I'm not going to go into like the detail of that, you know, because we're at a different stage. And then that's distracting from what the issue is of Nickelodeon. But it was child abuse. There was nothing that she was not hitting me in front of the producers. None of that was happening on the set. We used to stay above Kel, you know, so obviously he's a cast member. That was first season. So I'm pretty sure he was hearing me getting whooped. He was hearing, you know, whether I was hitting the floor, whatever, we all know what child abuse is. Because we're not here to drag my mother. But, you know, the thing is, it was going back. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you know that anybody, whether someone's going back and telling you that there's child abuse, y'all know about it. Y'all didn't say anything. Y'all didn't try to do anything. It didn't become an issue till second season.
Why do you think that was?
Oh, because the cops came in child services. But don't try to use that as an excuse. It was just all good a week ago. You know, so first season, I feel like they didn't care about me getting beat. They were just mad that my mom was blocking them from being able to get me.
And by blocking, what do you mean?
What my mom was doing? So my mom she was making sure I wasn't leaving the dressing room if we weren't filming, because there was no need. She was making sure I was escorted because by law, child labor law, you're supposed to be there. They didn't want some of the parents on the set, and some of the parents weren't. They had no problem. That wasn't my mama. She actually had contacted, you know, child labor law. Of course, they didn't like that. I remember they used to try to put me in, you know, some kind of, you know, some crazy wardrobe. And my mom actually blocked them a couple times and was like, no.
And speaking about your mom, she did contact child labor law. So what did she contact them for?
It was, from what I recall, one of the things was them really trying to press the line about the parents not being on set. That was the biggest thing. Because they did not want her to be on set. They didn't even want her to be there. It was just like, okay, drop her off and keep it pushing. And that was the biggest problem.
Wow.
In child labor laws, you're supposed to be there.
So did they break a lot of child labor laws, like, often on set?
It seemed like in Orlando they were trying.
By doing what, long hours, maybe?
There was definitely long hours. Like I said, not having the parents there. Like I said, some parents were cool. Like, all right, bet, I'm out. But those are like the main two. I mean, and obviously yelling at kids, you know, and the retaliation, making sexual advancements, you know, that kind of stuff. But anything else, I don't remember, because you got to remember my age.
Yep.
So, but that's what sticks out right now to me.
How did they react when she would just block all these things that a parent should do?
I mean, obviously you got to remember, think about my age too. So you could see the irritation, but the level of probably how mad they were, I wasn't seeing it. Which obviously, though, it was showing up in the scripts, but I'm not registering that because I didn't really find out anything until second season. I'm just already dealing with what I'm dealing with on set from cast members, and like I said, the milk scene and what Dan is doing. Oh, well, don't do this with this line, and don't do this, don't take away from the boys. And it was just like, now it became a competition thing. And then it's like, it almost, after a while, it's almost like you want to be liked, because I'm an only child. So it was like, this was my first time being around all these kids. I'm like, oh my God, I'm around kids now, you know? And I was homeschooled and everything. And so I was just excited. You know what I'm saying? I had never had anything like this. Like I had been working, and I had did a movie, I had a commercial, but it was a show. It's Nickelodeon.
Like regular,
you know what I mean?
Like a popular network.
Yeah, like Universal Studios is our backyard. You know, we were right next to Sequest. You know, like it was cool. You have all these different celebrities coming up. You know, I'm in the Gap kitchen with Usher, you know, eating slime and boogers, you know, like kicking it with Aaliyah. Like, this is all memories. Like, I'm a kid, you know? And it should have been a memorable moment. And a lot of people used to ask me back in the day, they're like, what is your favorite part about the show? I used to always say the artist. And they would be surprised. I'm like, yeah, because it was. And then they were like, what's your scene? Okay, well, Randy and Mandy, because we could make a mess. But other than that, there were so many different things that happened. Like I said, like you said, with the milk situation, like just that in general. But then it was the fact that she even thought that she could do that. But she was always getting away with stuff.
So you think if the roles were reversed and you did that, it wouldn't have been accepted?
Oh, well, they was already on my head because like there was another situation where the Elisa who had threw the milk, had pretty much been, she was talking about my mama. She was talking about my mama. She was making fun of me. She was like, oh, you pretty much talking about, you know, I was from the hood or whatever, because I'm an inner city kid. Proud of it. I don't care, you know? And she was making fun of me about it. And I remember it went on for like 30 minutes. Like it was all kinds of stuff that was being said. And the crazy thing was there was a guardian that was in the room that was supposed to be watching us.
Was it one of the guardians that are supposed to like watch over the kids on set?
Yes.
And they just let it go on?
Oh yeah, was sitting there just brushing her hair. And I'm just, you know, I'm sitting there like, you know, trying to ignore her, and she's just, you know, doing her little thing. The boys, you know, instigating, whatever, doing what they do, like they always did. And she's just you know, laughing. It's just hilarious. And she just kept on and she kept on, and you already know it. You start talking about people's mamas, and and then you're getting closer with
things ever get physical?
So you know, she got close, and then she was in my face, and then saliva came out. I have a thing about spitting on me, like I think most people do. That's not the move. So,
honestly, that's disgusting.
That's not. Don't do that. So saliva, boom, I reacted. I got in trouble for that. She didn't get in trouble for what she did. I got threatened that I'd get fired.
What?
My mom was like, so it sounds like y'all threatening her, like if anything else happens, like.
And what season did this happen in? Was this in the first?
That was first season.
Wow.
That was first season.